everyone, it's Rachel with Rachel's Super Cute Creations, and I am here today to do a quick tutorial with you with these gorgeous lace embellishments. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take a look at or show you what I've been working on. So these adorable little embellishments are great for flip-ups in your journal. I made a little corner tuck out of fabric, and they're all out of scraps. Scraps and buttons, bits and pieces of lace. This one has a little piece of burlap in it. This one has a little, some fabric that's hanging from it. But these are just adorable. They're great for pocket. You can make pockets out of them to tuck things in. You can make them flip-ups. You can make them tuck spots. You can just glue down two sides. But I just thought these were really cute. And I wanted to show you, I didn't do any sewing on any of these. All I did was use glue. So a lot of you have been talking about you don't have sewing machines. And so I wanted to make sure that I did a quick tutorial on something where you didn't need a sewing machine to make these adorable fabric pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and set these to the side, and then I'm going to show you another one. This one right here, I used a piece of scrap fabric using the same process, and then this was just a little die cut key that I slid up in here. But here's another way that you can do it. In this case, I lined it with coffee paper so that it can be a journaling spot. But all of the other ones I did not back that way. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're just going to build some things together, and all I have is just a little scrap bin right here, and here's some more scrap laces, and I'm just going to kind of throw them in the bin, and we're going to get started. So I like to use, this muslin is much thinner. I like to use the cheapest muslin I can find, but one that is kind of thick. So you can go to your fabric store, you can go to Walmart if you have Walmart in your area, and you can find muslin. And muslin's pretty cheap. I want to say that this was, I don't know, $2 a yard or something like that. If you go to Joann's or Hobby Lobby and use your coupon, you can get it for around $1 a yard, and you can make so many of these embellishments. Now, all I'm doing is snipping and ripping just because that's what I like to do. I like the look of the frayed edges. And even when I have little pieces like this, I don't throw these away because these can become little embellishments as well. So I just throw them in my scrap bin. And then from there, we're going to go ahead. I'm actually going to make this just a smidge smaller. So there we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make an adorable little tuck spot. So I'm going to move this fabric out of the way, take my little bin here, and I'm going to lay down, I'm going to just zoom in for a minute, guys. There you go. Okay, so I'm just taking some threads away because I like more of the frayed look, and that's just my personal preference. If you don't like that, you don't have to do that, but I just think it looks nice when you have that frayed piece. And then I start finding pieces that I have, and I like to make sure that I cover the majority of the muslin. So I'm looking at what do I have that can cover a lot of that area, and I'm going to pull this piece. So this piece right here covers a lot of that muslin. So that's definitely going to be a piece that I use. And you don't have to do this either, but I like to leave, I like to cut it so that there's a little bit of that muslin showing. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece. I use every little bit and piece of lace. You can see I have these little tiny pieces as well. I don't throw any of that out because you can just make some amazing embellishments with that. Okay, so there we go. What do I use to tack it down? I like to use Fabri-Tac. It's a permanent adhesive, and it dries clear. You don't want to get it all over everything because it will show, especially on fabric. So you have to carefully put it down. So what I do with my Fabri-Tac is I just kind of dot it on here, across, down, and I just lightly drag it in the middle, and I make sure that my edges are down well though. Okay, put my lid on. You do want to put your lid on because this stuff will, it starts to leak to the top and overflows if you leave your lid off. So I just go ahead and line this up, and usually what I will do, and I didn't get it ready, so I apologize. I'm gonna get out a piece of parchment paper. You can use wax paper, parchment paper, whatever you want. But when you're working with lace and glue, it is gonna leak through. So in order to make sure that I have it down, I will put wax paper, parchment paper, smooth it down, let the glue come onto here. So when I peel it up, I just set that to the side. So we have our first piece down and done. Now I want to go ahead and I want to take some of my other pieces and I want to just start building. So I have this gorgeous vintage lace right here. It's hard to see. And I know that I'm definitely going to want to use some of that. So it's something that I bought at a thrift store for a really good deal. And you know, I think that would be pretty to have quite a bit of it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it. And that's going to be definitely my next piece. But I'm going to lay that there for a minute because I need to do some building over here. And I'm not sure exactly what it is I want to do. And I may not build over there. Sometimes I leave that. But I like to just layer as much as I possibly can. And I like to go both ways. So let me just grab a couple of pieces. So you can see I try to cover it as much as I can. So what do we have in here? And I try to go both ways whenever possible. I try to, you know, build left and right, up and down. I do have this piece, which was a scrap piece from another one. So I think I might use that, and that will kind of cover some of that. And then if I use this, we could use it more towards the middle and glue those down. That would give it kind of a nice touch. And then we could do something over here with maybe one of the smaller trims. I have this smaller trim right here. So I think, let's see here. Do I want to do that? Or do I want to put something like this? Not as drastic. Oh, I have some of this gorgeous crocheted trim. I love this trim. I think I'll use this because it sturdies it up some. Okay, so I kind of have what it is I want to do. I know that I also want to build a layer across. So let me, sorry guys. All right. Yeah. Okay, so I kind of have it. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to get started with gluing. I'm going to start here and glue on this side first because I want to make sure I get that down. So I'm just putting a small bit over here. Need to pull it over a little. All right. So I have the first piece down, and then I want this piece down just to add some more texture. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to just put a little bit of glue across here. And I'm just starting to tack things down slowly. I know that I'm going to put this all the way down here, the crocheted trim, so I'm just putting glue straight down. And I want the trim to kind of go off the edge a little. Go ahead and trim right here, keeping that little piece because I'll use it for something else. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to use our paper again. See, this glue dries really fast. That's another reason why I like it a lot. So I'm just going to burnish this down with the glue. The glue sneaks forward. It's going to get on this paper. You can see it does. So just peel it off, set that to the side. All right, then this is going to be a little more tricky to deal with because there's a lot of pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it in reverse, and I'm going to try to just dot around it, get as much glue as I can, and then we can always go underneath pieces if we need to. But we want to get this down pretty good. If I was just sewing this with my sewing machine, I would just put the glue on the majority of the flowers just to keep it tacked down till I could sew it. But since this is a no-sew project, I need to be a little more careful. So, put this down, carefully gluing this down here. All right, and I'm going to get that paper back over here. I really want to make sure that we spread that glue out. Okay, and so we now have this beautiful piece. It needs something up here, and I've been trying to include buttons each time. So I'm going to go grab a couple of buttons. Accidentally got some glue on this piece. Let's see here. Well, we'll wipe it off. I was hoping I could use it, but I just don't think it's going to go. So I just wiped it off so we could use it on another piece. Let me grab my buttons. And I have a bin just for ivory and white buttons. So I'm just going to open this up, grab a couple of buttons that I think will work. This one's really cute. It has a pearl flower. Let's see, do I want to do a button cluster? Do I want to just add a button onto something else like this? We could do something like this. I could go onto here. You know what, I might do that. I'm going to do that. Let's see here. Cut that again. There. Kind of put that. Sorry, the glue is sticking to my fingers. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put a little glob of glue there. Put down my little fabric, or my little ribbon scrap on an angle. I'm going to put a glob of glue on here. Put my lid on. And you know what? I have a little bit of this eyelash trim that's in an ivory. I think we're going to add some of that too. I think that will be pretty in there. So I'm just going to lay that down. Add a little more glue over top of that, just to make sure that my button sticks. Okay. And push it down real well, and there we go. So we have just completed a gorgeous flip for a journal. And that can go into any type of journal. I was just looking to see if I had a page somewhere. Let me look here. Let me grab a journal real quick. Okay. So here's a journal. I could take this, open it up, find a page. Let's go to this page right here. And this now becomes a gorgeous piece that can be used to flip up on a journal. Or if it was smaller, you could make it a pocket. or you could glue it down on 3 sides and make it a pocket right here. So I hope you like that quick tutorial. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. And I hope you enjoyed this great short little tutorial. Have a great day.